I hope you are ready for another good strength and conditioning workout. So we'll get started straight off. We're going to go straight into another of these flows that we warm up with. So if you do this one in time with me, I'll take it nice and slow so we can all do it together. So starting, whoop, that is the new step. I have my step ready for calf raisers. So standing up, hinging forwards, trying to keep the legs as straight as you can, but not forcing it. Hands down onto the ground. Walk the hands out all the way to a plank. Coming back in again. Up. And let's go 2 more times like that. So walking the hands out into a plank. Just hold it for a second. Walk the hands back. So we're getting a nice stretch through the hamstrings. And we're just starting to loosen up, warming up the body. Final plank. This time we're taking it into a down dog, so hips going up to the ceiling, pushing our chest towards our knees, feeling that stretch down the calves. Let's give them a little walk. So just loosening out, heel down towards the ground, never forcing anything. With this mobility warm-up that we begin the workout with, we're just loosening things up, getting things ready for the workout, but never forcing anything. Lovely. From there, we're going to go down into a down dog. And up, stretching through. We'll do that once more, so pushing back up to the down dog, and then down and through. Lovely. From there, if you've got a cushion, you might just want to pop it underneath your knee, down to kneeling, into that hip flexor stretch. So we're just drawing up, you swap knees, or we do that the wrong way around. Drawing up at the front, so squeezing the glute forwards, drawing up at the front, so you're feeling a stretch into the front of the hip there. So we're going to do 5 slow pulses, drawing up at the front, squeezing the glute forwards, feeling a stretch into the front of the hip. If you're not feeling anything, check your technique, but it might just be that you're not tight there, so don't worry if you can't feel it. From there, let's straightening out the leg, leaning forwards, getting a stretch into the hamstring. So just gently pushing forwards, again, not forcing it, just loosening up. Good. From there, we're going to go into a Spider-Man position, so just straightening that back leg, and let's go 3 circles with the belly button. So imagine you're painting circles with the belly button, 3 in the other direction. Lovely. And from there, take one arm, doesn't matter which, up towards the ceiling and back down. So we're just loosening up that upper spine, getting a bit of mobility into the upper spine. Don't worry if you can't get the arm all the way up, you can just have your hand there. It's that spine that we're looking to open out. One more. Lovely. Up and then into a side lunge, so taking it down to one side, then the other, loosening up down the insides of the legs. Lovely. One more to each side. Perfect. And then swapping onto the other side. So if you swap direction, hopefully you'll swap legs as well. Now we're drawing up at the front again, so getting that hip flexor stretch as we gently push forwards and draw up. It's not pushing forwards like that. It's squeezing the glute forwards and drawing up at the same time. Ooh. Sorry, that was Instagram just cutting out. I think it's back on now. So a few more pulses, that's it. Then into that hamstring. So just leaning forwards, feeling the stretch into the front outstretched leg. Loosening up through there. Good, then up to Spider-Man. So straightening that back, straightening the back leg. 3 circles with the belly button in each direction. And then 3 in the other. And then from there, opening up, remember you can just go elbow towards the ceiling if you want. Doesn't have to be the full straight arm. Just loosening up, getting some rotation into that upper back. One more to each side. Good. Okay, hopefully you're feeling a bit looser, ready to go, everything feeling a bit more mobilized. So we're going into 1-minute repeats for each of the following exercises. Going to really be hitting the glutes hard today. Well, not too hard, but certainly working them. We are going to start off with some clams. So if you lie on your side and then feet in line with the body, opening up that top knee. So just opening up, and think of it as if you're opening a body. Sorry, opening a body, opening a book. No opening bodies going on here. Opening a book. So we're opening out and we're working from this glute muscle here. Making sure that as you open up, you're not rolling backwards. So you don't want to go like that. You want to make sure you're almost leaning slightly in towards the floor as you open up. So hopefully you're starting to feel that muscle working now. And now for the next 30, we're just pulsing it at the top there. So you're hardly moving it. Very small movement, but you're just isolating in there. Now, if you need to take a break at any point during these exercises, take a break. I'm saying we're going for a minute on each one, but obviously everybody's got a different ability, different strength. So if it feels too much, go for what works for you. The last 5 seconds, and then we're swapping sides. You can just roll over to the other side. I'll be polite and keep facing you. So exactly the same, line up those feet in line with the body, opening up from there. Think about leaning into the mat to feel that glute working. Make sure you're not rolling back with it. As the knee comes down, it should be resting on top of the bottom knee rather than coming too far in towards you. So yeah, keep facing down into the mat. You may find that one side is quicker to activate than the other. Just be aware of those imbalances and try and do some work in your time to get rid of the imbalances. So now pulsing, so just holding at the top there, small little movement, pulsing, pulsing. Now in the next round, we're going to do these again. If you have a thigh band, you can use that, so a small band that you put around your knees. If you don't, then you can just carry on with the clams as we've just done now. Okay, so now we're taking it into standing and we're still working on those glutes. So if you imagine 3 imaginary points in front of you, one there, one there, one there, and we're standing on one leg, bending down, first of all to that one that's out to the side, doesn't matter on the order at all, then in front of you, and then out to the other side. So you're going to keep on working through those 3 points. If you need to put that other foot down just to stabilise for balance, that's fine. If you can work on the balance at the same time, even better. Now, things that you're trying to focus on as you do this, don't worry what this leg's doing, as long as it's off the ground, that's fine. As you come down, particularly as you do this one that sweeps across the body, make sure that knee's not collapsing in. So I've got a camera in front of me, I can see what's going on, but if you just take a quick look down, make sure that knee's not collapsing. We've got about 10 seconds more to go on this side. And I hope you're feeling it working, same sort of places you're feeling those clams working. Final set on this side. Lovely, swapping on to the other side. So exactly the same, those 3 imaginary points. Remember, it doesn't matter what direction, what order you do your 3 points in. Keep thinking about controlling that glute. If you feel it wanting to collapse in, use that muscle, that clam muscle, or I call it my line dancing muscle, because if I was line dancing along, my thumbs are hitting into the muscle there. So using that clam muscle, that line dancing muscle, to get the glutes working, making sure, and I can see as I go down, I'm slightly tipping up that hip, so I need to make sure I work on keeping the hips level. About 10 seconds to go on this side. And then we're going to take it into lunges. So lunges really good for working the glutes as well. Hopefully now that we've really got them firing on these 2 first exercises, you're going to really feel them working on the lunges. So with the lunges, we'll start off just static, into a lunge position, up and down, keeping the feet where they are. Again, we're going for a minute, but if you need to take a break when you need to. Things we're thinking about with our lunges, this front knee wants to be over the front ankle, so make sure you're not going too far forwards like that. You want to drop down in the middle, pushing this glute forwards, so I can feel a slight stretch at the front of my hip there, and I can definitely feel that bum muscle working there. And then looking forwards, making sure that my front knee, whoop, isn't collapsing in. So exactly the same as we were looking at with those 3-point touches. Making sure that that front knee isn't collapsing in as I go down. Getting tired now. 5 seconds to go. You can do it, guys. Come on. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And swap sides. So exactly the same. Checking our setup, making sure that we've got the square at the front. Squeezing that glute forwards at the back, pushing forwards, feeling that slight stretch into the hip. Don't worry if you don't feel it. You might just already have mobilised and be nice and loose in there. Looking straight ahead, making sure that we're not arching through the back here, so keep pushing that glute forwards rather than arching out the back behind you. And checking that front knee, making sure it's not collapsing in. Good work, guys. Got about 15 seconds to go. Then we're on to core, so your legs are going to get a break. Last 5. Lovely. If you've got a cushion, you might want it just to give yourself some support. So we're lying on our backs. Our feet are up in the air, like that. And the first ones, we're just pushing up with our feet towards the ceiling. So working through the core to push up to the ceiling. Imagine trying to touch the feet to the ceiling. Making sure you're not coming up too high, so you're not going over backwards. You're certainly not going backwards like that. Pushing up, making sure it's nice and stable. Say that, I'm coming off my own cushion. Last 10 seconds. Last 5. Oh, I can feel that working now. Good work. Flipping over onto your front. Press up time. Hope that you're feeling that these are getting a bit stronger now. So you're holding that plank position and you're just lowering down as close to the floor as you can comfortably go with good technique. Make sure you've got that strong back, strong glutes, strong core. It's like a moving plank, so make sure you're not with your bum in the air or arching through like that, and make sure you're not just moving up and down between the shoulders. It's that whole body moving up and down. If you want to make it a bit easier, if you need something stable, please make sure it's stable. Then you can do an elevated press up like that. If you want to make it harder, and I'm not going to demonstrate it, you can have your feet up on that stable surface. So you other way around, head down at the ground, feet up high. Nearly there. Making sure that those elbows are coming back behind you, not pointing out to the sides. And we're done. Okay, calves. I have finally got myself a step sorted. So into calf raises. Having said that, let's put it this way around. So dropping down, I'm just putting that leg out of the way so you can see, dropping the heel down and up. You can hold on to something for these. You certainly don't need to be working your balance, and much rather that you're doing a good stable calf raise than trying to balance and falling over and not holding it. Going up onto the toes for a second or so at the top there, so really making sure you're working all the way through. Carrying on for as many as you can on one side, and then swap. We're doing a minute on each side, but if you need to take a break or swap, that's fine. But do remember, as runners, if you are a runner, ideally you want to be able to do 25 to 30 calf raises, 3 sets, and that should be a few times a week. So if you're not there yet, do think about adding in a bit more into whether it's a strength conditioning program or even just doing it before you go to bed, while you wait for the kettle to boil, whatever. If you haven't got a step, don't whoop. If you haven't got a step, you can't fall off it. If you haven't got a step, don't worry. You can improvise. You'll have seen me improvising over the weeks with various different things. You can improvise with a brick or some big books, or even if you just do it off the floor. Doesn't matter if you can't get that heel drop at the back. Something's always better than nothing. Those of you who were here last week might know the step saga. So there's an enormous spider living inside this step. It's been living in the garden for the last year or so. So I think we've evacuated the spider. There's still quite a few snails inside, so you might get to see some wildlife creeping out during the class. Last few seconds there. Lovely. Onto the floor. No spiders or snails there. Onto the floor for glutes. So setting yourself up, heels touching to your fingers, pushing up straight line, and then one leg up, or if you want to do it two legs, that's absolutely fine. Stay on those two legs, making sure that you keep that straight line from the knee down to the shoulders, so don't sag down in the middle. Keep pushing up through the glute on the bent leg. Push through the heel to try and get that glute working. If you're feeling it more in your hamstrings than your glutes, maybe just bring the feet in a bit closer towards you. If you're feeling it in your quads, it might just be the quads are a bit tight. Try and take the pressure off them. Really push through that heel to get the bum muscle working. 15 seconds to go here, then we're doing the other leg. If you're on a two-legged one, then just take a break in the middle and then go into that two-leg glute hold. Lovely. So either swapping legs or taking a quick pause if you're on two legs, or if you can keep on going, keep on going. Right, another 60 seconds on this side. While I'm here, just to let you know, I don't know if you've heard about the 2.6 challenge, marking the fact that it should be the London Marathon this Sunday. Obviously that's not happening, so lots of runners at a loose end, but also lots of charities who really rely on that event for fundraising, who are facing the same issues that everybody else is, and certainly facing a shortfall in cash, but probably more busy or more needed than ever. So the 2.6 challenge is a fundraising event to get people to put on an event in anything themed around the number 2 and the number 6, or 2.6, 26. So I'm going to be doing an online class at 11 AM on Sunday. This Sunday we've got 26 exercises, 26-minute long class, fundraising attached, but even if you don't do the fundraising, come along, just raise awareness about it. Good work. Into squat, and we're just going to come down into that squat. So think about as you come down, hips go back behind you, trying to engage the core, making sure you're not leaning forwards too much, and think about hips going backwards, not knees coming forwards. And then we're just holding it there. We've got about 45 seconds to go. And just waddle around to talk to your front arm, making sure the knees aren't collapsing in. So think about those glutes again. It's all about the glutes today. Engaging, keeping you nice and stable. I'm going to have to come down a little bit lower so you can see me. No arms on knees. So keep those arms wherever you need them, but not resting on the knees. Come on, we can do this. We've got about 20 seconds to go. So yeah, if you have a look on my Facebook page, there's an event on there. I'll pop the link in after this. Please do join me. It'd be great to have as many people, or as many groups of 26 people as we can joining in there. Last 5 seconds. You can do it. 3, 2, 1. Give it a good shake out. Just want to double check that this is coming across okay. Over here, lovely. Okay, so, quick rest, and then we're going again. So back into your either clams on the floor, or if you've got a band, if you prefer, going into a band walk. Completely up to you. If you prefer the clams, or you find that your glutes work better with them, then go with the clams. So, sorry, just trying to get the clock to go again. You must got a bonus 20 seconds worth there. So I put the band just below my knees. Go wherever works better for you. And then I'm going into that cowboy walk. So legs wide. Probably you don't want me to come any closer than that, do you? Legs wide out, making sure the knees stay wide. So don't let those knees collapse in. Knees want to be pushing out the whole time. Don't let them collapse in. Keeping the feet fairly parallel. A lot of the toes will probably go out a little bit, but trying to keep the feet fairly parallel to get those glutes working. Now I'm going in to side shuffle. Now those of you who are doing clams, you're going to do a minute each side, which means those from the band walk, they're going to do 2 minutes. Yeah, you know you love it. So these glute muscles, these kind of outer glute muscles that we're working here are so important for your running. These are the muscles that stop the knee from collapsing in, stop the hip from dropping down, all the things that runners tend to have issues with, and which, Clam people, swap sides. Band people, carry on. You've got another minute to go. So all those things that runners have issues with in terms of knee injuries, so many of them stem from the glutes. And it's two things. One is strength, just how strong they are, and then the other is how much they activate. We spend all our time, and sorry for those of you who have heard this a million times, but so much time sitting down, we get tight hip flexors. I'm going forwards and backwards, you do what you want. Our glute muscles start turning off. And then we go out for a run, we've still got tight hip flexors, we can't get the leg back behind us, we can't get that hip extension, we're not really activating the glutes as we run, and they've kind of forgotten how to do their job. So the more we can do, just doing a little workout like this, not necessarily the whole 2 minutes, before you go for a run, is really going to help just to get them firing, remind them what their job is, get them ready to go. Good work, wow, feeling that. And we are following it up. So we are going into a single leg squat. Now, if you have a stable chair or something behind you, that's going to help. I'll show you side on. If you don't, no worries at all. If you have, you're going to sit on it, see where your feet are, and then onto one leg, and you're going to push up from there. And then you know, and I'm really, I'm going to show you on the left leg. You can either touch down, or you can just come to hover, or touched. But the point of having the chair there is that you know you're not going to fall over. So normally when we go into a squat, we tend to go knee forwards and we get very quad dominant. Most of us tend to be much more quad dominant because our posterior chain muscles, muscles down the back side of our body, as I was just saying, have kind of got turned off. So we need to wake up these posterior chain muscles, remind them they have a job to do. So we want our hips to be going back behind us rather than our knees coming out forwards. As I say, not essential at all to have that chair there, but it does just give you that confidence, that reminder that you can get your hips back and you're not going to fall over backwards. Lovely, swapping sides. And I've said it already, but I'll say it again. With all of these, if it's harder than you're able to do, if you need to take breaks, take breaks. You don't have to keep on going for the whole minute. Much better to do a few with good quality. You can see that my ankle mobility on this side is nowhere near as good, so I'm struggling to get my hips back there. And then falling over. Often ankle mobility has a big impact on our glutes. Somebody who's got restricted ankle mobility often then ends up with those glutes getting turned off. Not sure why mine's gone so funny today. If you have a small weight, you might find it's actually helpful to hold it out in front of you, not to make you work harder, but just to give you that kind of stabilising out the front there. Yep, balance completely gone. Last one. Whew, glad they're over, good work. Right, into the lunges. Now then, either stick with the static ones that we did before. Do you want to make it a bit harder, work a bit more, both in terms of your balance and probably getting your heart rate up a bit more. We're going one leg stays still. I'm just trying to find some space. One leg stays still in the middle, and then the other leg's moving forwards and backwards. That's halfway. If you want to swap sides, you can. Otherwise, carry on this leg and then we're swapping sides in another 30. Making sure that even though we've added in that dynamic movement, our technique is still good. So we still want to be making that square at the front and the back. Still pushing the glutes forward, getting those glutes working. Last 5 seconds. Definitely uses a bit more balance, this one. Try and make sure you're keeping your feet, swap sides. Keep it, oh, I'm going to confuse myself now. You stay facing the same direction and just swap sides. Keeping the feet on like tram lines. So don't try and keep the feet in a straight line, one in front of the other. Keep them on those tram lines. I don't know what is going on with my right leg today. Can't balance on it at all. In theory, if you have them that bit wider apart, it gives you a bit more balance. 30 seconds to go. So swap legs if you're swapping every 30. Otherwise, grin and bear it. Or like I say, take a break if you need to. Don't overdo it. Always work to your ability. Core coming up next. Bet you've never been so grateful to have core. Give the legs a rest. Good work. So again, if you've got a cushion, if you want it, down on the floor. And this time, feet up to the air again. But this time we're reaching right hand to left foot, left hand to right foot. Swapping, swapping. Making sure that it's the core that's doing the work, not the neck. So make sure the work is coming from here, not just by tilting the head up. If you are finding you're getting a sore neck, try and think about keeping it relaxed. Try putting your tongue up to the roof of your mouth, just to relax things. 20 seconds to go. Lovely, nearly there. 5 seconds, guys, you can do it. Must be there now, yes. Perfect, so into upper body again. This time, same setup as the press up, but with your bum in the air, and we're going into a pike press. So head is coming down, forwards. So this way, we're working more through the shoulders, rather than the chest that we're predominantly working in those press ups. Make sure it's not just a press up and down like this with your bum in the air. Make sure that head is diving down forwards. So trying to get it kind of to touch the ground or towards the ground in front of your hands. So think about that body, upper body, being on a straight line, up and down, gliding forwards. 15 seconds to go. Good work. Back into the cards. So, up again. No wildlife coming out yet. Slowly up and down, looking for that control. Just keeping it simple, straight leg calf raises today. Try and get in the habit of counting these. If you don't do the whole minute, that's fine, but see if you can count so you know how many you've done. And hopefully over time, you're managing to increase the number that you can do. Trying to get the heel as far down as you can at the back, but obviously if you're sliding off the back like I keep on doing, don't worry too much about that. And then looking for that hold up at the top. A few seconds to go. Good, swap sides. So just a reminder again, 11 AM on Sunday, live class, 26 minutes. There'll be a warm up, so it'll be longer than 26 minutes, but 26-minute class. We're doing 26 exercises, and we do one exercise every minute on the minute. So it depends how fast you want to get them done. You can rush through them and have a longer break. You can space them out, whatever works for you. Some of them will be quite hard to get in the 26 minutes, or sorry, in the minute. Some of them will be a bit easier. Be a full body workout, but again, focused on runners, for all those runners that had hoped to be running at London this Sunday. Last few seconds. Oop. Lovely. Back to the glute raises. So setting up on the floor again, fingers to heels, pushing up into a glute hold, and then this time if you're able to, we're going up and down. So working through the bum as you push up, making sure you come all the way to the top. So don't just be working down here, you're not going to get anything. You need to make sure you come all the way to the top. Little pause at the top, really getting that bum muscle working. If you were one of those runners who was due to be running at London this weekend, or any of the races, triathlons, whatever, through this summer, I hope you're managing to stay motivated with some sort of training. Remember, If you haven't got a race on the horizon right now, you don't need to be pushing really hard. Just working on that base fitness, easy pace running, sort of pace that you could be having a conversation, if you're allowed to be having a conversation with anybody when you're running right now. But keeping it really easy, building that base. We don't need to be doing hard workouts year round. Now is the time for building a base that we can then put that race-specific fitness on later on as we get closer up to those races. Normally when we're doing base work, it's freezing cold outside, so enjoy that sunny day for doing your base training. I've just launched a new turbo training plan if anybody's just invested in a turbo trainer. I've just launched a new turbo trainer plan for everybody who's kind of started on the turbo with Corona, and it's got loads of base training in there, as well as some higher intensity stuff, loads of coaching. It's all accompanied by videos to talk you through what you're doing, lots of drills and technique work and videos just to keep you entertained so you're not getting too bored on the turbo. But the point I was going to make is that I've been filming that for the last week or so, so I've been doing loads of zone 2 base work, chatting away to the camera as I'm filming it. And I did my first non-film session today. Okay, back into that squat. And this time we're pulsing it. So 30 seconds, just pulsing it down here. Sorry, 60 seconds, we're doing the whole minute. I did my first turbo trainer workout today after I finished filming. I could really feel that my fitness was better, partly probably because of the drills and the technique work, but also just doing that base work. I breathed through my session today, probably partly also because I have the fan on, and I haven't had the fan on for all the ones I've been recording, which has got rather sweaty. But anyway, if you're interested in that turbo trainer plan, please do have a look. There's details on my Facebook page or feelfitwithlucy.co.uk/turbo. But otherwise, just take on board what I'm saying about the importance of zone 2, easy base training. Please don't be pushing yourself too hard. If you do harder, longer efforts, they can have an impact on your immunity. And obviously, we all want to be protecting our immunity right now. So keep it easy, build that base. Good work. Okay, going back to the beginning, we're not going to do the full workout all the way through, but we'll just do a few. So either clams or band work. Take a quick breather before we go back into it. So we'll do 30 seconds each side if you're on clams, or 1 whole minute of joy of band walking. So you can go whichever band walk you want, side to side. Cowboy walk, so that big swagger with the hips, with the knees pushing out. You can go into Elvis legs, so just opening out. And then we're going to repeat that, but we're up on our toes. So just having to work harder to stabilise through there. Still making sure that those knees are pushing out and not letting them collapse in. Oh, sorry, clam people, swap sides. You choose where you're going. A little sideways shuffle now, shimmy, shimmy. Last 5 seconds. Good. Let's go back into, imagine those 3 points on the floor. So forwards, side, side. Oh, I've changed my order. Make up your own order, but you've got those 3 points. Just doing 30 seconds each side. Last set on this leg. And swapping legs. You feel those glutes working now. Got another class to do after this, slightly regretting these now. If anybody is a member of the Run Mummy Run website, I do a class with them over at on their page at 7 o'clock, so you can come for a double hit if you want. Good work. We'll leave out the lunges. We'll go straight into core, line on your back, and this time we're just reaching side to side. So reaching across the body to the far side of the knee, so we're feeling it down the sides as we come through again, keeping that neck nice and relax. 30 seconds to go. Let's take it to up here. And so just balancing, changing elbow to elbow, not sit-ups. Please never sit-ups. Sit-ups are really bad for your back, really not developing much fitness, functional fitness. So we're just working down the sides there. The last few seconds. You thought I'd done a class and left your triceps out, didn't you? Don't worry. So lying flat on your front, hands underneath the shoulders, toes tucked under, pushing up and hold. So we're working through those triceps there. It doesn't matter if you can't get off the floor, so long as you can feel those triceps to the back of your arm here working. Let's push up, hold for as long as you can, then you just take it down for a rest. If you want to try something a bit different with it, we're going forwards and backwards. So not putting any strain onto the wrist, don't go too far, but you're just using your toes to push forwards and backwards, taking rests when you need to. Making sure that you're not arching up, so it's not about coming up like this. You're just getting that tummy off the ground if you can. If the tummy is still on the ground, don't worry at all, so long as you're pushing through, getting them working. Last few seconds, guys, you can do it. Whew. Good work. Back onto that. We've done lots of glutes. Let's do hamstrings. So same setup as your glutes, but your feet are just that bit further away, pushing up, feeling those hamstrings work. Take it in single leg if you want. We're doing 30 seconds on each side or 1 minute double-sided. And then raising up and down. You're probably feeling it in your glutes because they've worked pretty hard today. They're going, who did she say? Never turns on and forgets their job. They've woken up now. And swapping sides. Think about pushing the foot away from you. If you're on a non-slip floor, you don't actually want the foot to push away, but push the foot away. Try and get those hamstrings working. About 10 seconds to go. Good work. Last squat. So taking it back into that squat, coming down, and we're just going to pulse at the bottom. Then we're going to pulse a bit higher. Then we're going to take it higher again, but we're never coming up to standing. So we're just pulsing a little bit higher, keep pushing the knees out. Back down. If you need to take a break, take a break. But if you can, you're going to keep going. So never coming back to standing. Remember, hips back, not knees forwards. A little bit lower if you can. See how deep you can get. Hips going back. It's very strange seeing the reflection of myself with no upper leg. A little bit more. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Not all the way up. Can we go back down again? Let's do it. Come on, you can do it. Nearly there. 15 seconds to go. Hips back, hips back. Get those bums working as well. Oh, good work. Give it a shake out. Lovely. Then into some stretching. So let's do those quads. So quad stretching. Heeling towards your bum, pushing the hip down towards the floor. So make sure that that hip there isn't coming up. Push that hip down towards the floor. Swapping sides. If you've got a foam roller, you can be using your foam roller now instead. So if you're foam rolling your thighs, you've just got the roller underneath and you're going up and down like that, either both legs, or if you want to get in a bit deeper, single leg, so one leg stacked on top of the other. But remember, with your foam rolling, you never want to be working more than, I'd say, about a 6 or a 7 out of 10 in terms of how much it hurts. There's no point in just going in really deep because you really want to get in there deep, because you're just going to tense up the muscle and you're not going to be able to help release it so much. So if it's hurting loads, go double leg. If it's still hurting, put feet on the ground. Something that just means you haven't got so much weight going through. Make sure you're going up and down all sides of the muscle, working your way through into glutes. So taking one foot, stretching it, and crossing it over onto the other leg, pulling it in. Hello Ellie, if you're watching, Ellie stretch. Pulling it in like that. I'll leave you stretching if you're stretching. If you're rolling, you can either use the roller, or if you've got a ball, I find it a bit easier to get into my glutes. And then just working through, sitting down on it, finding any of those knots and just working through the knots as and when you find them. Remember, go all the way onto the sides there. People always ask, how long do I need to roll for? And it really depends on you and how it feels. If they feel fine, no knots, whoop, ball's escaping, go for the roller instead, then you don't need to. So swapping sides if you're on the stretch and the roller. If you're not getting any pain, then that's fine. If you're not getting any knots, but if it feels knotty, then I just carry on working through them. I could be on the roller for half an hour or more just on my quads after a hard session. So depends, but the more you do it, the less you need to do. So if you haven't done it for a while and you're really feeling it, then just try and do it a bit more regularly, and hopefully you won't need to do it for so long the next time. Onto your calves. So if we're stretching them, heel down behind, pushing the weight forward, so we're getting a stretch into the calf at the back there. If you're rolling them, I like to do it with a ball. Tennis ball will do for this. Tennis ball's not quite so good for the glutes because you tend to find that you sit on it and squish the tennis ball and break it. But just using the other leg to put a bit of weight on, rolling through, finding those knots again, and just working through there. In terms of whether stretching is better than rolling, rolling is better than stretching, whichever one works better for you, I would say. Ideally a combination of both, but if you prefer one, then do that, because the one that you like doing is the one you're going to do, rather than the one that's perfect but you never do. So go with the one that works for you. And if you don't feel it makes any difference, don't do it. It's certainly a debated subject whether stretching, rolling, all that sort of thing does make a difference. I think that's partly due to the types of studies that are done and whether they can conclusively prove anything. But personally, I know that if I haven't rolled for a bit, I will be feeling very knotty, and when I roll, everything feels like it's moving better again. It really helps that recovery, helps get rid of those knots. But if you don't find it does anything for you, I would say don't do it. Do what you feel works for you. Good work, guys. Quick stretch of the chest. We've been working that with the press up, so pushing the elbows together, getting that stretch across the front there. So I hope you've enjoyed the session today. If you have, please do give it a like, give it a share on Facebook. If you're up for joining me on Sunday, 11 o'clock for the 2.6 challenge, there's an event on my Facebook page. I'll post it up on this stream right now. On the Facebook stream, sorry guys on Insta, come across to Facebook. And I will hope to see you then. I'm also doing another session 1 o'clock on Thursday where we'll be doing a trial run of Sunday's class, so you can come and try it out. I hope to see you then. Take care and have a good week.